Welcome back to school, Marist College. Thanks for tuning into MCTV's bi-weekly Marist Update. I'm Jeff Scott.
And I'm Marist Shannon. Tonight we'll be covering the various fairs that hit campus these past few weeks, the latest and greatest in entertainment news, and a new medical app that may change the way student athletes think about concussions. We've got a lot in store, so let's jump right into today's top story. Well, we are officially in day 3 of the government shutdown. For those of you who are concerned about the anarchist uprising, let us quell your fears. This is not the only time in history this has happened. In fact, this is the 18th time. Last time the government shut down was in 1995. The shutdown lasted 21 days. However, just because this happened before does not mean it is nothing to worry about. Because of the shutdown, 800,000 Americans are out of work right now, not receiving their government paychecks. And until the government comes to a resolution about the budget, these non-essential government employees will go without pay. So why is the government stalled? With the back and forth bickering between the House and the Senate, a budget proposal has not been approved. The president issued a deadline for Congress to get their act together, and they failed to meet that deadline. Obamacare was the main clause that was tripping up the two sections of Congress. The House, led by a majority of Republicans, has refused to pass a budget plan that includes Obamacare. The Senate, led by a majority of Democrats, refuses to pass a budget without funding to Obamacare. There is no real way to tell how long this stalemate will last, but until a resolution can be met, hundreds of thousands will keep going without pay.
As a result of the government shutdown this week, the live animal cameras, including the very popular panda camera from the National Zoo in Washington, D.C., have gone dark. Due to the shutdown, the zoo itself was closed on Tuesday to the visitors, and the cams went offline Tuesday morning. According to a zoo spokeswoman, on Monday, the zoo tweeted, quote, "The cams, including the panda cam, require federal resources, especially staff, to run. They have not been deemed essential." Zoo officials said the shutdown won't affect the care of the animals. The panda cam has been popular since the birth of the panda cub in August.
I don't know what you think about the shutdown. I just think it's a little immature for Congress to say, oh, we're going to shut down the government because we don't agree with one of the president's laws.
Yeah, and it's so unfortunate how so many people are not getting paid for their jobs. Meanwhile, Congress is still getting paid even though they're responsible for the shutdown.
Exactly. One government that is not shutting down but recently got new leadership is Marist. The freshman SGA elections were held a few weeks ago. Catherine Yushevsky covered speech night.
It's that time of year again. SGA is holding their annual freshman speech night.
On September 17th, freshman candidates for student government delivered their speeches in front of their competition. Due to the continued construction in the Student Center, freshman voters were unable to watch the speeches live, forcing the speeches into a classroom. Each candidate had 3 minutes to deliver their speech. The positions available included president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, historian, resident senator, and commuter senator.
I'm running for president because I know that I can be a good voice for our freshman class and take on any obstacles thrown our way.
The average college student knows about 25% of their class. Now, if you take our class into consideration, it's about 1,200 kids. So that means each and every one of you knows about 300 people. If that sounds about right, then great job. If it doesn't, you're more like me, where you feel better sitting in your room playing with your sock puppets all day.
In their speeches, candidates spoke about past experience and their vision for the future of their class here at Marist. After candidates spoke, the speeches were posted on YouTube. Students were able to vote online the following week, both on their own and through polling stations set up around campus. On September 25th, Katie Kilgallen was announced as class president.
Reporting for MCTV News, I'm Kathy Yanuszewski. Back to you guys.
Moving to a story that affects about 80% of the Marist population, the search for 63-year-old Sang-Ho Kim has finally come to an end. The body of Kim has been recovered from the Hudson River. Authorities say the body washed up on Iona Island in Stony Point Monday morning. He's the main suspect in a shooting that took place in East Garden City, Long Island last week. One man was killed and another critically injured. The abandoned car of the supposed shooter was found in Putnam County in the days following the attack. Schools and state parks in Cold Spring Harbor shut down in response to the shooter's unknown whereabouts.
Dutchess County Police have been investigating offensive graffiti symbols found near Old Sullivan Road in Hopewell Junction Friday night. Swastikas were spray painted on the window of 2 parked cars at the Holiday Summer Homes Camp. This summer camp hosts a large Jewish population. Offensive graffiti was found in a nearby neighborhood as well. Officials are responding to these acts, patrolling the immediate area and looking out for more information on the vandalism.
Staying with local news, as fall rolls in, harvest season follows. Farmers coming from inside and outside Dutchess County set up their products hoping to sell this to students. Here with more is Allie Reed.
Vendors from all over the Hudson River Valley have come here to Marist to sell their local goods.
In operation with the Marist student-run club Seed, the local farmers market visits our campus every week during harvest season. Even though the area used to support a lot more locally grown and made products, students are still attracted to the idea of eating locally and thinking locally.
It's locally grown, it's not processed, and there's a lot of chemicals in processed foods that people don't really realize. Although it says 100 calories, it has a lot of chemicals and other things that are not good for you. And if you have a whole organic food, that's what's going to make you healthy.
Each Thursday between 11:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m., local farmers and merchandisers come set up camp on the walkway to Dyson and Lowell Thomas. Students can buy various pieces of jewelry or fresh produce grown right here in the Hudson River Valley. Farmer Joseph Baldwin says there's no substitute for the food you can find here.
A lot of kids don't feel well, so other kids got to tell people if they want to get well, they got to come to the table to get well. Food has got to become our medicine.
Although the stands are pretty empty at times, students still appreciate people from outside the Marist bubble coming in and strengthening the sense of community here on campus.
I'm Allie Reed reporting for MCTV News. Back to you guys.
Marist keeps up a good reputation with its students of being able to provide organic and local food. Along with the farmers market, Marist hosts a Valley Cafe, bringing food from different cultures to faculty and students using local and seasoned ingredients. The food is a nice change of pace from the food offered in the dining hall. We go to reporter Jeff Scott for the story.
This is Jeff Scott reporting live from the Marist College Cabaret, where they are serving the first Valley Cafe of the semester. Valley Cafe serves their delicious meals every Tuesday from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. in the cabaret.
I like coming to Valley Cafe every week because the food's always really fresh and really good. It kind of changes it up from the regular food in the dining halls.
Each week I feature a different type of cuisine, so I'm trying to educate everyone through food.
All ingredients used in preparing the meals are purchased locally and regionally from Hudson Valley Fresh, Fairweather Acres, and several other local farms.
When we first started Valley Cafe, we only had 3 people show up, and now we're reaching full capacity every week since.
This event is first come, first serve, and due to its popularity, it usually sells out fast.
I love Valley Cafe and can't wait to see what Chef Anthony concocts for next week's menu.
This is Jeff Scott reporting. So have you ever been to Valley Cafe?
I have not, but I've heard great reviews.
Yeah, well, you really need to go because they offer such a great variety of different foods, and every week they feature a new culture with foods from those cultures, so it's a good way to, learn about different cultures and just eat tasty food.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm definitely going to go.
Well, a surprising development in the production of the long-awaited Dumb and Dumber 2 broke Monday as Academy Award-winning actress Jennifer Lawrence was reported to have filmed a cameo. Lawrence and the entire cast of the upcoming installment of the Hunger Games films reportedly stopped by the Atlanta set of the comedy sequel. Lawrence, a notorious big fan of the original, is rumored to play a younger version of Kathleen Turner's character from the 1994 film. The sequel is set for a 2014 release and features Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels returning to their respective roles. Lawrence can be seen on November 22nd in the widely anticipated The Hunger Games Catching Fire. So, do you like Jennifer Lawrence?
I do. I like the image she presents of how she's a normal girl in Hollywood, which sometimes has unrealistic expectations.
And it's amazing how she kind of popped up out of nowhere.
Exactly.
And with the Hunger Games, now she's super famous, but she's very down to earth, though.
Yeah, which I really like. She's very normal, and it's good for girls to have a role model like that.
Right.
Speaking of Hollywood starlets, a lot's been happening in the world of TV, movies, and music. With a look at the latest Hollywood happenings, here's Brittany Jelinski.
Thanks, Rose. This week, the entertainment world has been filled with scandal, dark confessions, and really poor hair choices, but at least the Emmys provided a saving grace from all of the usual gossip. The 65th Primetime Emmys were hosted by Neil Patrick Harris, also known as Barney Stinson from the hit show How I Met Your Mother, which is currently airing its final season. Harris was joined on stage by past hosts such as Jimmy Kimmel, Jane Lynch, Conan O'Brien, and Jimmy Fallon. Some of the winners included Claire Danes for Best Actress in a Drama Series, Jim Parsons took home the award for Leading Actor in a Comedy Series, Modern Family won Best Comedy Series for the 4th year in a row, and House of Cards shocked everyone by winning Best Directing in a Drama Series. House of Cards is the first series not affiliated with a major cable company, but available on Netflix to win an Emmy. However, it was Breaking Bad that caught everyone's attention. The critically acclaimed show, which just ended its series on Sunday, faced a huge upset at the Emmys. That was until Breaking Bad won the most prized honor, Outstanding Drama. Most of the world probably didn't even know the Emmys were happening because everyone is too busy talking about Miley Cyrus. Literally, everyone. Stars from Katy Perry, Pink, Amanda Bynes, Adam Lambert, and even Cher have all given their viewpoints on the starlet's ridiculous actions that we've been seeing lately, especially after her article with Rolling Stones, where Cyrus admitted to her drug use. But what's more ludicrous than that is the Wanted's performance at the SD2 Festival in Brighton, England on Sunday, September 29th, when one member shaved half of his head, his other fellow boy banders took his hair clippings, put them in a sock, and then threw the sock out to screaming joyous teenage fans. There's the lucky girl. On to movie news. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 dominated the box office, earning over $34 million its opening weekend. However, the movie I'm looking forward to seeing the most is Don John, written by, directed by, and starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt. This comedy explores the mind of a young man as he turns from a life of objectifying women to falling for one. Critics are saying that this movie is pleasantly surprising, and Rotten Tomatoes ranks it at 81%. Not bad for Levitt's directorial debut. Well, that's all I have time for this week. I'm Brittany Jelinski, keeping you in the know.
The social media network LinkedIn is getting a brand new user who is on a mission to be the site's most followed user. This new user may be a surprise to you. It is late-night comedian Conan O'Brien. He is known for his dominance in the social media market, having accumulated 16 million followers on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube combined. Now he wants to take over British billionaire Branson's spot as the most followed user. So what skills does the media mogul list that we don't know about? Talking, pretending to listen, blaming his father in Microsoft Excel are his best-kept secrets. Branson is fine with a little competition, telling O'Brien, quote, "Come on in, Conan, the water's fine."
Being so close to the city, Marist offers its students a unique opportunity to connect with well-known and successful companies. Because of this connection, an annual career fair is held to help students find internships and connect with possible future employees. For more about the event, we go to Marissa Ayuto.
It's that time of year again for students to print out their resumes and come down to the internship and career fair. Every semester, over 50 companies send recruiters to Marist for the career and internship fair, giving students the opportunity to network and apply for internships and careers. Recruiters set up in the McCann Center Gray Gym, eager to meet the students interested in their companies. The companies were searching for students majoring anywhere from science to communications. Many Marist alumni came back as recruiters, full knowing the opportunities the career fair offered to them, and looking for students to fit their company's requirements.
We just look for someone that's really excited about the industry, that has some kind of knowledge about the company. We make sure that we want to see that they have done their research about the company, but just eager to learn and excited about the industry, really.
I mean, I think it's a really great time for them to get FaceTime with big companies that normally they'd be, applying on a website, and their resume would go to the internet, and here you could actually meet recruiters and kind of get some FaceTime with them. So I think it's a really great opportunity.
From 3 to 6 p.m., professionally dressed students filtered in with questions, resumes, and enthusiasm. While some students attended as a class requirement, most students came voluntarily in search of jobs and internships, noting the importance of the career fair experience.
I think it's a good opportunity for me because it's great to get one-on-one time with possible recruiters and employers and talk to them and give them your resumes and just show them that you'd be a good fit for the company. It's kind of like a pre-interview process.
Just trying to get a job senior year. I want to graduate and have something to fall back on, and I've worked so hard my past 4 years that I want to put all what I've learned into the workplace.
The fair was hosted by the Career Center, who handed out pamphlets giving students even more information on each of the companies present, as well as tips and career-seeking resources. The overall response from students was positive after taking this big step in their career path. I'm Marist Ayuto reporting for MCTV News. Back to you, Rose.
I think the career fair, it's a great opportunity for students to see what's going on in the job market, especially because a lot of kids I know are really concerned about what they're going to do after they graduate.
Yeah, especially since this is the chance where you can go into a room with tons of different companies and you can just bounce back and forth between companies, handing out your resumes, and you might get lucky.
Yeah, I know a couple people who might have potential internships, so let's keep our fingers crossed.
The melting pot of America makes for quite a variety of heritages on campus. Each year, a flag vendor comes to campus and capsizes on the diversity. With more of the story, we go to Shannon.
Flags from around the world decorated the campus green as the flag vendor sold them to students. On Wednesday, September 18th, the flag vendor did his annual return to campus with his assortment of flags, jewelry, and t-shirts. Students were able to pick from a wide variety of merchandise featuring countries, sports teams, and musicians. Prices ranged from $5 to over $20. If students could not find a specific flag, the vendor could order the flag for them. Students could also order their family's crest on a flag.
I have so much descent, Italian, German, Austrian. Why not have flags for all of them?
Students were not only drawn in by the goods, but by the vendor's zany personality.
You ready, Mr. Bill? England, here we go! Oh, sorry, wrong shirt.
Students were able to check out what was on display all throughout the day. With a high cost of clothes and dorm decorations in stores, the flag vendor provides students with a great way to decorate on a college budget and still have something to buy for their friends and family. No matter what someone wanted, there was something for everyone. All in all, the flag vendor provided students with laughs and something to take home.
I'm not a pirate today, no, but I'm sure there's someone on this campus who is, and they will definitely jump at the opportunity to have a skull and crossbones in their dorm.
I'm Shannon, reporting for MCTV News. Back to you guys in the studio.
So doing this package was a lot of fun. The vendor, he's very colorful personality, and he was a lot of fun to interview.
Yeah, I wish I could have met him, but...
Oh, he was fantastic. He was like everything you'd want. He was super entertaining, and all the kids definitely liked what he was selling, so it was great.
Yeah, he probably got a lot of customers from
He
being
definitely did. When we were
selling.
there, it was super crowded, so it was great.
Cool.
Unsure of what to study here at Marist? Well, don't fret. Each year, undecided students are given the opportunity to see exactly what field of study they could pursue. Giving us the inside scoop into the majors and minors fair, here's Dylan Gordon.
Students are gathering in the cabaret, exploring potential majors and minors.
On Wednesday, September 25th, during activity hour, the cabaret was filled with students who were exploring possible majors and minors. This year, there are 1,100 incoming freshmen. 400 to 600 attended this fair. This event was put on by the Academic Learning Center for the students at Marist to give them an idea of what major or minor to study. Booths are set up with faculty to answer the questions of the undecided students.
What I'm finding this year is we have a really excellent freshman class who are asking a lot of questions, and they're not afraid to say, maybe this isn't what I want, and they're very comfortable going, I think I'd rather be undeclared than be in the wrong major, which I think is really smart.
It's really helpful being able to talk to different people from the different areas just to get a background of what it's about.
So part of the reason this is here is so that students can get the information directly from the experts, the teachers, the upperclassmen, deans, and chairs are here every year to help students make a really wise decision about their future here at Marist.
This event occurs yearly and is very helpful for the incoming freshmen because they need to declare a major and/or minor by the spring of sophomore year. There are over 70 majors and minors offered at Marist that students can choose from. While most people went to the fair by their own choice, many students were required by the Focus program to go.
Reporting for MCTV News, I'm Dylan Gordon. Back to you guys.
Everyone knows Marist is not the driest of campuses, but for those of you sick of going to the bars and keggers 5 nights a week, the Red Fox Den is here for you. Strapping on some sandals and reporting from the Den's beach night, here is Peter Malavenda.
Fall is coming, but Marist College is hitting the shore as Red Fox Den takes on beach night. On Friday, September 20th, the Red Fox Den hosted beach night in the cabaret. Students were encouraged to dress for the beach and take a swim with the many clubs present at the event. Raffles, concerts, and contests kept the booths busy all night. While many students hit the bars, others enjoyed a different experience.
I saw a need for more late night and alternative activities for students. I know for me, I love dancing and I love going out and things like that, but I'm not a really big drinker or partier, and I know a lot of students aren't. And I remember the Circle released something last semester actually. Over 60% of the Marist student population don't actually go out because they can't afford it. Parents have had abusive issues or drinking issues, and they're just not part of the lifestyle. So I wanted to contribute to those 60%.
I think it's really important just for to unite the campus, because I'm really happy that all the Greek organizations could come together and put on such a great event, but not just the Greek organizations, dance ensemble, we have music programs. So I think it's a really nice way to offer an alternative nightlife event and also just getting the campus together. So I think it's a really good event.
The event was hosted by SGA and was free for all students. Food is provided by Sodexo, and although no alcohol was served, most people got laid. Hawaiian laid, that is. Red Fox Den plans on hosting. Reporting for MCTV News, I'm Peter Malavenda. Back to you guys.
So what do you think about the Red Fox Den?
I think it's a great opportunity. There's a lot of kids on campus who aren't into the whole party scene, and this is a great opportunity for them to not feel pressured into going to the scene.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad they started doing this because I know when I was a freshman, I have a lot of friends that didn't really want to go out, and a lot of us were underage. So I feel like this would have been an excellent way for them to have a good weekend, and I'm glad that they have it now.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely glad because there's plenty of people who aren't interested in it. It's a really good idea. I'm surprised it took them this long to figure this out. As part of Marist's Constitution Week, CNN reporter Jeffrey Toobin came to the newly renovated Nellie Galetti Theater to speak to students, staff, and locals. Known for his controversial ideas surrounding journalism law, the audience was anxious to see what he had to say. Here with the coverage of the event is Peter Malavenda.
Constitutional scholar and CNN analyst Jeffrey Toobin spoke in front of a packed Nellie Galetti Theater tonight. On Wednesday, September 18th, CNN senior analyst and New Yorker staff writer Jeffrey Toobin spoke to a large audience of students, faculty, and local residents. He spoke about the importance of the American judicial system and explained the partisanship that can exist within it. Toobin answered questions directly from the audience after his presentation. He provided students with career advice and encouraged them to invest in knowledge of the government.
Well, I think the judicial branch is largely invisible. There are no cameras in federal courts, including in the Supreme Court. And for those of us, and that's most of us, who get most of our news through video, whether it's through television or through the web, that's a big absence. And I think most Americans, young and old, if it doesn't exist on video, they don't see it.
A lot of what he talked about related to journalism law. And I think he also, as a journalist, I think you saw a very clear demonstration of very solid reporting and very clear, in-depth reporting. And I think to see that in practice is something that is very valuable for students.
The audience, filled with journalism and political science majors, was slightly disappointed with Toobin's lack of commentary on the Snowden and Miranda cases. The event was open to the public, and refreshments were provided after the speech. Some students were able to introduce themselves to Toobin and even grab a quick photo. Reporting for MCTV News, I'm Peter Malavenda. Back to you guys.
Researchers at the University of Notre Dame have created a tablet app that will diagnose concussions through voice analysis. The goal is for the app to examine and analyze speech patterns before and after high-impact sports to flag brain injuries. It will soon be tested on 1,000 youth and high school football players. If testing goes well, researchers plan to develop the app for the marketplace.
Baseball season is in full swing, and football season is heating up as well. Here with the latest play-by-play is Michael Sachs.
Well, thanks, Rose. One big question that's been facing the NFL this season has been, what is going on with the New York Giants? This past Sunday, the G-Men suffered a 31-7 loss on the road at the hands of the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City quarterback Alex Smith completed 24 of his 41 pass attempts, counting for 288 yards and 3 touchdowns. Giants quarterback Eli Manning once again struggled in this game, playing only 18 of his 37 pass attempts for 217 yards, throwing both a touchdown and his league-leading 9th interception of the season. With the loss, the Giants have now fallen to 0-4 for the first time since 1987, which ties their worst start in franchise history. Big Blue will host the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday as they look to avoid falling to 0-5. Now for a New York football team that's actually won some games, New York Jets paid a visit to Nashville to take on the Tennessee Titans on Sunday afternoon. Gang Green ultimately suffered a defeat at the hands of the Titans, 38-13. Tennessee quarterback Jake Locker completed 18 out of 24 passes for 149 yards and 3 touchdowns before suffering a hip injury in the third quarter, forcing him to leave the game. And unfortunately, he's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. Jets rookie quarterback Geno Smith completed 23 of his 34 pass attempts for 289 yards, as well as 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. The Jets will look to go back over 500 as they visit the Atlanta Falcons on Monday night. Now shifting from the gridiron to the baseball diamond, the start of October can only mean one thing, the start of the playoffs. The Pittsburgh Pirates are making their first postseason appearance since 1992, and they started it in style. The Pirates defeated the Cincinnati Reds 6-2 on Tuesday night in the single-elimination wildcard game. With the win, the Pirates will take on the St. Louis Cardinals in a best-of-5 series. From the field to the ice, the NHL began its first full 82-game season on Tuesday night, following a shortened 2012-2013 campaign due to the lockout. The defending Stanley Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks opened the season by defeating the Washington Capitals 6-4. Other scores from Tuesday night include the Toronto Maple Leafs defeating the Montreal Canadiens 4-3, and the Winnipeg Jets defeating the Edmonton Oilers 5-4. That's all for this week. I'm Michael Sachs, giving you all you need to know to keep your head in the game.
Remember when the expression, the dog ate my homework, could get you out of almost anything? Well, we don't either. But what would happen if your dog ate $500? That's exactly what happened to a Montana man and his wife last month. The couple left their golden retriever inside the car while they were at a restaurant and returned to find 5 $100 bills torn to shreds. The man collected the remainder of the bills during the rest of the trip, taped them together, and sent them to the federal treasury. Just 1 month later, the man received a check for $500 in the mail.
Breweries are constantly trying to up the ante when it comes to developing a unique beverage. The Dogfish Head Brewery in Delaware has added a special ingredient to their beer that is literally out of their world. Celestial Ale is the newest addition to their line of ale beverages, and it's made with lunar meteorites. That's right, meteorites from the moon have been crushed and steeped like tea to create a subtle taste of earthiness to the beverage, or should we say moon-likeness. The moon dust comes from the ILC Dover Company, which designs spacesuits for NASA. Special Zeusies made out of spacesuits are also available to help add to the celestial consumption experience. Who knew that the moon could be so tasty? So what do you think of this moon beer?
I think it's pretty awesome. It's from the moon. Like, why wouldn't you want to try it?
I so want to try it. I don't even like beer, but I want to try it just to say, hey, I've had moon beer. It sounds so cool.
Well, that looks like that's all we have for you tonight. Until next time, I'm Jeff Scott.
And I'm Rose Shannon. Stay foxy, Marist.